Before we play any game, we have to understand the rules of the game. We're going to have 10 rules that I'm going to show you. 10 rules that we're going to go through that will explain algebra in a fun, soccer, playful manner. Rule number 1, terminology. We are going to go through our terminology. We have algebra terminology versus soccer terminology. Starting with number 1, expression. An expression is made up of a group of variables and numbers with operations of exponents, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Here is an expression: 6x squared minus 9 plus 4x minus 3x squared. This expression in soccer is called a team. And a team is made up of different players with names, jersey numbers, medals, and they move in different ways, such as tackling, running, or jumping. Here are our players. It's a group of players called a team. Number 2, terms. A term can be a number, a variable, a product of two or more variables, or a product of a number and a variable. In our expression, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms. And terms in soccer are called the number of players. Therefore, we have 4 players. Players can be identified in many ways, such as the name only, jersey number only, or a combination of a name and a jersey number. Terminology number 3, variable. We have the variable letter X. A variable is a letter that represents the unknown. In our expression, we have the letter X. In soccer, we say the variable is the player's name. A letter is an abbreviation of the player's name. Therefore, the letter X stands for the name Xhosa. Number 4, coefficient. A coefficient is a number used to multiply a variable. In our expression at the top, we have 3 coefficients. We have the coefficient in front, which is the 6 next to the x. We have another coefficient 4 next to the x. And we have another coefficient minus 3 next to the x. Therefore, our coefficients are 6, 4, and minus 3. In soccer, our coefficients are called the jersey numbers. Therefore, jersey number 6, number 4, and jersey number minus 3. This is the jersey number. Terminology number 5, constant. A constant is a single number without a letter next to it or multiplied by it. In our expression at the top, our coefficient is the number negative 9. It does not have a letter next to it or multiplied by it. In soccer, we say that this constant is an anonymous jersey number, minus 9. This is an anonymous jersey number because it does not have a letter next to it. Terminology number 6, exponents. Exponents show you the number of times a number or variable is multiplied by itself. Therefore, we have the number 2 as an exponent at the top. In soccer, we say the exponents are known as medals or cards. The players carry the medals and the referee carries the green cards. We will further explain this. I will further explain this as I go through the other rules. To simplify all the terminology, here's a summary of what we've just gone through. The algebra terminology versus the soccer terminology. An expression is a team. Terms are the number of players. A variable are the players' names. A coefficient is the jersey number. A constant is an anonymous jersey number. Exponents are the medals or the cards. Rule number 2, identify the jersey numbers. In maths, we have maths numbers, which are known as the coefficients or the constants. These numbers can be 1 up to infinity or -1 up to infinity. Now in soccer, we call these numbers the jersey numbers. The numbers refer to the soccer jersey numbers. So each player will have their own jersey number. Rule number 3, identify the player's name. In maths, we have math variables, and these are the alphabets or letters that we see on our expressions. They can be A, B, C, M, N, O, X, Y, Z. Any letter up to Z. Now, in soccer, we say these letters stand for the players' names. So the names are normally written at the back of the jersey, like the famous player Messi, which means M would stand for the name Messi. Rule number 4, identify the player's medals. In maths, we have exponents which show you the number of times a variable or a number is multiplied by itself. For example, we have x times x equals x squared. Therefore, this number 2 at the top shows you the number of times x is multiplied by itself, which is first x and second x. Makes x times x, therefore you'll see the number 2 at the top. In soccer, we say that exponents are the soccer medals. We have a player x squared. X is for the name Xhosa, and the 2 at the top is for the 2 medals. As you can see, our player is wearing 2 medals, and each medal needs to be engraved. Like this one has an engraving. Each medal has to be engraved. Each medal will be called medal X to show that it is for the name Xhosa. So the engraving will be an X. Rule number 5, identify the referee card. In algebra, we have exponents like we explained before. In this case, our exponents are positioned in a different place. They are outside the brackets. These exponents that are outside the bracket, like the 3 that you see here, must multiply the exponents inside the bracket. Now, you might not see, but there's an invisible exponent 1 here by the 2 and the x. And that exponent 1 must be multiplied by this exponent 3. And that's why we have the equal sign 2 cubed times x cubed. And ultimately equals 8x cubed. Now in soccer, we refer to this exponent that's outside the brackets as the referee card. So this is different to the exponent that we previously spoke about that we said was the players' medals. We said it was the players' medals. Those are the exponents by the player's jersey number or the player's name. This one is hanging alone outside the brackets. Now this referee card must multiply the medals inside the brackets. It must multiply the medals inside the brackets, and it will multiply the invisible 1 medals. We might not see them, but we have invisible 1 medals here. And that's why we have an equal sign 2 to the cube times x to the cube, and ultimately 8x cube. Rule number 6, identify the player position. We have 3 positions on the soccer field. The first position is based on the brackets. When we have brackets and players inside, or variables or numbers inside the brackets, we say our players are inside the penalty box. Field number 2, when we have players under the roots, such as X and Y under the roots, we say our players are in the goal box, which is the smaller box. Soccer field number 3, when we have players that are not surrounded by brackets or roots or anything, we say our players are free and they are running free or standing free on the midfield. Rule number 6, identify player position. Here's another way of imagining or visualizing the 3 positions on the soccer field. For brackets, players inside the brackets, these players are seen as inside the penalty box. Number 2, for square or cube roots, the players under the square cube roots, these players are in the goal box or that smaller box by the goal posts. Position 3, where the players don't have brackets or roots surrounding them, the players are on the midfield, so on the larger area, which is the midfield.